Here we are with the TwoSun TS204 Bronc. Tepe Designs. Sean Hassan is one of the designers on this knife, and he's done the 134 Shockwave for TwoSun. He's done the 128 Dynamo, but he's also done the Hornet, both in a large and small version, on his own, okay, that got funded through Kickstarter, etc. I've got his knives and the Killage as well. Now, Mr. Matt Szymanski up north in the Great White North, he is maybe being given credit by Sean as the main designer on this knife. So it was a collaborative effort. And of course, I like to take credit for the name, the Bronc, because Matt messaged me and asked me if I would name the knife, or at least help him name the knife. So I threw a bunch of names at him. I wanted something that wasn't the, the far Russian word for some star system, and I can't pronounce it because it's got a bunch of Z's and X's and some weird stuff in the name. So Bronc. Bronc works. Can you do Bronc? B-R-O-N-C. Now, if you're a Patriots fan, it's Gronk to you, but this is Bronc, and I like it. And this is not a gent knife. The first impression I thought maybe would be something, the Ritz or something, because this looked like a gent folder, but it's really not, because it's thick. It's a handful. So basically, it's a little brute is what it is. So in that sense, Bronc is definitely more appropriate than some other name. Titanium liners, titanium backspacer, carbon fiber, and G10. And I like this. I like this mix. It's kind of this white with little gray lashings going through there, and then the carbon fiber. And it's numbered. It's S90V blade steel, but they do M390, S90V, 14C28N, D2, 12C27. They work with a lot of steels in their models through TwoSun. Look at that pocket clip. Nice titanium pocket clip. It's fairly light, but it's 4 ounces, and it's not a big knife, so no, it's not a bug out beater. It's not 2.5 or 3.1 ounces. It's 4 ounces, and I'll show you. But it's a handful. It's a thug is what it is, a little brute. About 115 grams. Roll it back around to ounces. It's 4 ounces, like I said. And 3 1/4, 7 1/4. So 3 1/4 blade, 7 1/4 overall. See what I'm saying? 80 millimeters. Cutting edge, under 3. It's 2 3/4. 7 1/4 overall, about 18.5 centimeters. But here's the coup de grace on this one. Yeah, it's a .63 or 6.2. No, 6.3 now, I guess. It's grown. 16 millimeters. Last time I measured it was 6. Am I on top of a screw or something? It was a 6.2. There's 16 millimeters. It is 6.3, I guess. And 14, so, 14 tenths, 0.13, 0.14, 3.5 millimeter blade stock. Got that kind of Warnicliffe thing going on here. And is it sharp? Will it cut anything? Well, let's find out. Okay, yeah, it's really sharp. You know, all the TwoSun knives I bought have been really sharp out of the box. Let me grab my magnet. What am I catching here? I'm getting something, so I'm saying that the hardware is not titanium, but this stuff is, you know, obviously that's not. And that's not either. We will take this apart, take a look inside. Supposed to be ceramic bearings, ceramic detamp ball. And if you look down here, what is that? When you look inside this carbon fiber, you're looking at a screw, aren't you? Why? It's because, and when we take it apart, this is titanium, these liners are. So what did they do? They put a hardened piece of hardened steel in there to interface with the S90V, so you won't have a lot of premature wear or lock stick. That makes sense. That's a good thing. So I like it. I think it's a good looking knife. I can see some of Tepe Designs in here, but Szymanski, he did the TS168, and I can't remember what else, but this one is good. All my fingers fit on there. Barely. This one's kind of coming around the mountain, but it's right there, and that's a handful. I mean, you can just, ooh, that fills your hand up. Pocket clip's really not a bother because it lays so flat here. It does add extra girth to it, which you may not need actually. Reverse grip. Oh, that's comfortable actually. That's pretty damn comfortable right there. So more like a cutter, X-Acto knife. You know, it's not going to be a piercing champion, obviously. Big choil up here. So you want to get in and you want to work something here. You can do that like that. And it seems to be popular for people like to be able to get up on a blade and get control like this. Some people, they would rather not have, they'd rather have a very minimal, if any, choil at all, just to extend the blade length. You either do or you don't, you will or you won't. This one's fine with me to get up like this because it's a smaller knife and I want to be able to use it like I would use a small knife. But even back here, I'm fine. Nice satin grind. Plunge is right on. Looks good. And lock up, that's 25 to 30%. It's pretty solid. I'm not getting any blade play or lock rock out of this. It's centered up. And you know, they gave you a little bit here for this pass through. Kind of see the little machining right there. So you can disengage that lock bar. It's not real early over the detamp ball. You don't want to put your thumb way up here because it's not over the detamp ball. But, I mean, you just put your thumb there and you're fine. Just back off a little bit, drop it. And this is probably still fairly stiff. I just haven't done much with it. I just got it 2 days ago. And so, no, I haven't really spent a lot of time with it. I just wanted to get it on camera and not be too late. It's still for sale, and it will be for a while. And people are enthusiastic about it. I like the hardware here. This is nice looking. This is pretty seamless here. I mean, take a look. Do you see any gaps? I don't see any gaps here. My vision's not perfect at my age, but I'm just feeling it as well. And it's seamless between the carbon fiber and the G10. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about the design. Oh, geez, jump up out of there. Okay, plenty of blade to handle length. Okay, you got me on that one, Matt. Whew, okay. We're good. I mean, you know, you see these warnies sit down like that, and then you see that part of the blade, and you go, wow, what about the rest of this? Until it starts coming up, and there it is. So, no, you got plenty. The design flows great. This body of this knife reminds me a little bit of the Shockwave, you know, to a degree. So, Jimping on the flipper tab. Pretty intuitive. Detent. Ooh, shit. Oh, man. I just know I'm going to do this. Oh, wow. Okay. Detent is definitely appropriate. Now, it's okay for it to be a little stronger on a knife where there's no flickability. There's no thumb studs. There's no cutaways in the blade where you can middle finger flick or any of that. So the flipper tab's your only option. In that case, you can stiffen up the detent. And that was my attempt to fail it. Okay, I failed it. Technically, I failed it. But that came out most of the way. Okay, so that's the best I can do as far as failing it. So that holds on quite a bit. A very, very lazy flip. Kicks it right open, snaps it right open like that. Yeah, I do like it. Fit and finish is first class on this knife. First rate. How much does it cost? I don't know. What's it take to win the eBay thing? You can. I'm going to give you a link on this as well. These TwoSun knives. You can find this at their TwoSun knife store. It's spelled different. It's like TWO or TWOSUN. But no, it's mixed up. You'll see it if you click on that link. It's in AliExpress. They have a TwoSun store, but you can just buy them, okay? And number 3, do you want to buy it from a USA dealer instead? Okay, White Mountain Knives sells TwoSun. They have been doing this for probably a year now, at least. So now the problem is they're not going to have 1,000 of these in stock, okay? So yeah, they're gonna come in and they're gonna disappear quick. And of course, the shipping's been really a nightmare since the pandemic deal. This being 2020, the pandemic. Yes, that's been a problem as well. If you buy from the 2 sellers I give you, you're buying directly from TwoSun Knives. Okay. So the DWin99 and TwoSun Knives are the 2 sellers. It's for real, okay? And they do respond to questions, all that kind of stuff. They're very responsive. They're really Johnny on the spot. And I'm also talking to them about, in the future, making this bigger. That would be cool. And maybe with micarta as an option. So, we'll see what comes in the future. But S90V is a hell of a steel to start out with right there. Good looking knife. Good looking knife. Big long backspacer. Don't have to worry about touching the blade through there or things in your pocket coming through those liners and hitting the edge of the blade. It's nicely protected. And of course, the pocket clip being clear up here gives you a fairly deep carry profile there. Okay, so let's take this apart. Now, these are all number 8s. That's a good thing. Thank you, TwoSun, for doing that. I hate having number 6s in body screws. I want one size, and the bigger size is better. Have you ever had a number 6 kind of waller out on you, or your torques being so much smaller and those little tines being smaller that they get wallered off and they get rounded off, and then it just everything's screwed up. Of course, I got about 6 of each of these sizes, and I get the hardened steel bits from right here from WIHA, and this one doesn't say WIHA. I think this is not the one, but WIHA from Kansas City, KC Tools, and that's where to get them. Okay, they're hardened German steel. Let's take this apart then. That was easy. Kick it. Nice, no problem there. Next. Okay, I feel things giving way here very quickly. Let's also catch this over here. See if this carbon fiber comes away separately or not. Okay. I meant to take this off, I just didn't know. It's not really sticking into the backspacer, so I don't know if it's really necessary to do that, but it is into this. It's screwed into the liner, so, but if you're going to pop the whole thing apart, taking the scale and the liner together, then I guess you wouldn't need to undo the pocket clip. See what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad I took the scale away first. And there it is. Interesting. So there's the screw for the middle, and let's hope that's the same size. And it is. So that doesn't matter. This screw or that screw, same size. Good thing. All right. You know, I mean, it could be cleaned up a little bit. But other than that, we're solid. But these things don't separate, so they're put together somehow. And I don't want to push my luck, to tell you the truth. Looks like they're bonded together. This is nice. I mean, we got ceramic bearings, and I kind of like it when they do the large bearings. These are fairly large for that kind of bearing ring. Nice look there, and of course, internal. And you can see where the stop travels here in this cutaway. And of course the stop is on the blade there, so no separate stop, blade stop pin per se. And then there, of course, there's your detent and the ever famous and infamous, notorious ramp, detent ramp. It just amazes me. You know, I mean, you know, so many people just ignore TwoSun knives because, well, second class, third class citizens look down their nose and all that kind of stuff. But show me some knives. Show me some $300 or $400, $500 knives that do this. I you know, just the details. I send these to Kurt all the time. He's been a machinist for 30 years, right? And he's just like, I mean, it's just wonderment for him to look at the kind of machining excellence and fit and finish on these knives. You know, you kind of wonder, you go, why does the knife world by and large just not even talk about these knives? Where did that come from? It just blows me away. The quality, I mean, it's not like I've never handled expensive knives or other knife brands. I've had them all. So it just shocks me. I paid all the money for this one. I won it at like $133. But hell, if some other name brand made a knife with titanium liners, hardened steel insert, S90V, carbon fiber, and all these ceramic bearings and stuff, hell, it'd be $200 plus easy. I mean, it's just, whatever. Okay, I'm done. Here we go, and there's our pivot tube. And you know what? I talked to them because I cussed about the Barracuda, and that was round 2, but somebody got too happy with the thread locker, and I couldn't get it open. So I sent it to my buddy to open it up, and he had to injure the screw on the other side, or I did, before I sent it to him. So they sent me another pivot, another whole pivot. But I said, and they're gonna modify these going forward and make them D-shaped so you don't have that. Because see, there's no entree here, so there's no way to stabilize this per se. And so if you get too happy on this side with this, you're going to turn this, and this whole tube's going to turn. So they're changing that, which is a good thing. And that's my only bitch. I mean, I don't have anything more to bitch about, so I guess that's it. Old Granny, she's on the rag, you know? But I did. I mean, I come unloaded on him. Sean's like, settle down, dude. But yeah, they got the memo, that's for sure. I was on a tear that day, I'll swear to God. It's A-OK, Jose, and a lot of weight relieving. And they needed to, because God only knows where it'd be. It'd be over 4. Right now it's pegged on 4, so they did all they could do really to kind of minimize that and still keep these liners. And they ain't lightweight. Where's my caliper? I mean, they're not thin. I didn't mean lightweight. Yeah, let me get up here. 1.7 millimeter thick. So that's, and then of course this backspacer's no child either. Yeah, 4.4 millimeters. So, yeah, you add them all together. That's why you got that girth in there, that thickness through the handle. Let's throw it back together from the front side this time. And of course, let's throw a little bit of light lube in there and put this little puppy dog right in. And let this drip. And then also let this drip. I'm going to let it go on that detent ramp. I did see that there was some kind of lube or trace of lube on that detent ramp. But so, hardened steel insert on the liner. I mean, okay. I'm good with that. I'm happy about that. The material on the outer part of this ring, pretty light, but this just kind of, this thing's traveling pretty much on the inside here, so I don't see that there's going to be much contact made there. So this really stacks back together pretty dang easy. All these screws fit nicely. I mean, you can just tell I've taken apart and put together so many knives. These are just not a problem. They tell you when it's time to stop turning your screwdriver. It's just wonderful. Yeah, it's good. There we go. Okay. Maybe there is a reason why. It's always good to just put the screw back into the same hole it came out of, regardless if it looks the same. And there we go. I mean, we're locked down. Pocket clip, you're next, buddy. Okay. Where are we? We look centered. Blade plate? No. Now I'm wondering, did I crank down on it too much? And I may have. Let's lighten this load a little bit. Yeah, back just a tad. Back just a tad. Okay, that's much better. Much better. And the mahogany presentation case makes it all worthwhile. Yep. Oh well. Got to mark this one up. The 204 Bronc, Mr. Szymanski, and that Tepe guy, Sean. Click. You like that? That is a strange sound. Really good. Both ways, huh? All right. Take my money. And you know what we do around here? We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.